Hello. It's been a while. I checked right before I got on to film this, and I think it's been a year since I uploaded. You might hear my fan. It's a little warm, so I've got it going. Um, so I think the last video that I saw, I had, I was close to putting the house up for sale, which, if you don't know, my mom died, my father died, and then my husband died. My mom had cancer, my dad had issues, probably from exposure to Agent Orange on a daily basis in a base that he was at overseas. And my husband had cancer. And of course, I took care of them through the sickness and the so-called treatments and then the dying process. And it took a big toll on me, and I hated being in that house that we all, were in together. And I couldn't do it anymore. The house was just, it wasn't home anymore. It was just a house, just a building, And it was depressing in there. My son was depressed. I was depressed. Nothing, it was just bad. And so it took me quite a while to be able to get up and function enough to get the house, into sales shape. It took me about 3 years, honestly. I just couldn't do stuff, I was freaking depressed. I couldn't get out of bed. But then towards like June or July, something just kept telling me, now's the time, you got to do it. You got to get up, you got to do it. So I just started getting up and doing what needed to be done, I found out that I didn't need to do nearly as much as I did and nearly as much as I thought I did, but that's okay. But I finally got it done. I called the realtor. We got it up for sale. I think it was in August. The very first person that came in put in an offer. And they wanted a quicker close because they wanted to get in. And I wanted out, so I didn't care, But that, put a lot of pressure on me because I had to get everything packed up quickly. And it was just me doing it all, My son really couldn't help with a lot of stuff, but that's just the way it is. And so then that was a sale on contingency because they needed their home to sell, and the person that was buying their house backed out, so our deal fell through. So I was stress. And I think it was like a couple more weeks or something before we did showings, I think my realtor was like giving me a break because, and the second person that came through the house put in an offer and we accepted it, and it was going, good. Then one of the problems that I have with the previous place that I lived was people didn't do their jobs. No matter where you went, you could go to a doctor's office, you could go to a hospital, a real estate company, the people that need to file the paperwork for the sale of the house, and blah, blah, blah. They won't do their job. And I mean that. They wouldn't take 1 or 2 days off. They took literal weeks off. So we were trying to get this stuff done, and people wouldn't be in their office for weeks at a time. I'm going to have to make another video.